This is Bazette, and if you know who she is, then you and I are friends now.
Hey there, kids, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, hoping that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'd like to sit back in the squeaky chair, relax with all of you, and have a little conversation about finding your niche in the world of trading card games, hobbies, and collectibles in general. You see it all the time. When you are at a local game store, or even sometimes conventions, you'll see some newer guy show up. Maybe has a small collection, a binder, or a deck box, or whatever, and it's got a few cards in it, some nice stuff. He's pulled some good stuff, or he's bought some good stuff, and you ask him, like, hey, what are you looking for? What are you trying to collect? And he doesn't really know. The guy doesn't really have an end goal or an objective when it comes to collecting cards. And there's a lot of people out there who are like that, either relatively new to the hobby or just aimless in their collection journey. And to those guys, I say, it's never a bad idea to have a focus point. If you go your entire collection journey, if you go through your entire life as a collector, just kind of grabbing random stuff as it comes to you, impulse buying the shiny stuff that you see on store shelves, or cracking packs and buying random stuff at the store or whatever, you'll find that you do accumulate quite a nice collection. That's true. But you'll also find more often than not that you are stuck with things in your collection that you aren't really satisfied with, if only because you feel no attachment and no sense of accomplishment with the collection you bought, because at the end of the day, it really is just a pile of cards you have just kind of naturally accumulated over time on what could almost seem like, again, impulse buys. Now, as opposed to just impulse buying things at random and potentially being left with a collection you're not that attached to, something that I always recommend to people, especially newer people in the hobby, is find one thing, or maybe one to three things that you really like in a given game, and really laser focus on it and become the guy for that particular niche. What do I mean by that? Well, in Yu-Gi-Oh, there are loads of archetypes, full to the brim with all kinds of monsters, spells, and traps with special treatments, unique effects, maybe even entire sets dedicated to them, or decks dedicated to them. You could be someone who really wants to collect a particular archetype or a particular set from Yu-Gi-Oh, or even a particular rarity. In Pokemon, there are particular Pokemon that you might want to completely focus on, like Rhydon or Ghastly, or what's another obscure one? Diglett. You could become the Diglett guy. I know it's probably going to be like Mew or Gengar or something like that, but becoming focused on a particular goal, niche, etc. Whether that goal is nebulous, like collecting every Gengar card that ever was printed or ever will be printed, because that is a nebulous goal. Or if it's a strict goal, like I want to collect every Light of Destruction card in first edition. That's a set goal. Whatever that goal is, you'll find that having a goal and sticking to it and focusing on it does provide quite a lot of a really good sense of accomplishment and reward when you stick to it and when you pull off reaching those goals, nebulous or otherwise. Especially when you compare it to just, again, impulse buying at random whenever the opportunity comes around. If you don't have a goal in the world of TCGs, buying a $200 card can feel good just because you have a $200 card, regardless of how much you may be attached to it. But in the world where you have a particular set you're trying to collect and you really like that set, buying that $200 card could be the final big card you need to really complete that set. And the sense of accomplishment you get when you finally have that card, it just feels great, let me tell you. And yeah, I know that there are pros and cons to this thing. The big pro to just kind of randomly accumulating cards is that it's easy to become detached from them, and it's easy to let them go from your collection. If you're not constantly seeking holy grails and all these highly desirable cards, that you'll find it's easy to sell if the time comes and you need to make some quick cash. If you're impulse buying, I shouldn't really call it impulse buying. If you're opportunity buying, there we go. If you're buying when opportunity strikes and your collection is full of cards that you aren't too attached to, it's easy to make money when the time comes to sell. But if you are focused on a goal, focused on an objective, and you filled out a collection, whether it's a full set or a type of card, it's hard to sell that. It's hard to justify to yourself selling it. So I understand that there are cons to this as well, but there's also value in opportunity within restriction. And what do I mean by that? Basically, the world of trading card games is an interconnected one. I know, shocking. Just crazy. Crazy revelations are why you're here on this channel. Loud truck zipping past. Trading card games are a multi-layered lattice of interconnected individuals from all walks of life and every corner of the world. And the more connections you build, whether it's in person at your local game store or at conventions or online and social media and places like that, you'll find that the more you put out yourself as the guy who's laser focused on this one thing, opportunities can come to you. Like if you're the guy who really, really just lets everyone know that you're after Giratina, for instance. You're a Pokemon collector and you want Giratina. Well, you'll find that sometimes, especially if people have a high opinion of you, or at the very least enjoy you, talking with you, when they're out and about and they see a good deal on a Giratina PSA 9 from Lost Origins, I think has the nice golden looking one, they might think of you and they might reach out like, hey, I found this good deal on Giratina. Do you want it? And those kind of opportunities do pop up from time to time. And it's nice being known as the guy who's looking for Giratina and knowing that other people are out there thinking of you when they see a weird Giratina card in the wild. This isn't like me telling that you have to do this, by the way. At no point on this channel do I ever want to give anybody the impression that I'm trying to force them into a particular way of collecting. Because while I do think it's important to have a niche and to stick to that niche can be very nebulous. If you want to be the person who does go out and collect random cards just because you're looking for the best value in the moment, that's totally cool. And I'm cool with that because I do that myself. It's called bulk collecting, and I love it. But I do find that at the end of the day, having a goal or a set of goals can really help you keep focused, laser focused. And it does help prevent burnout too. There is a lot of easy ways for burnout to accumulate. Let's talk about Magic the Gathering for a bit. For years, I was in Magic the Gathering just kind of as the sliver guy in my local area. Everyone around here knows that I love slivers. Common, uncommon, rare, doesn't matter. I want them, I like them. Slivers have almost single-handedly kept me playing Magic the Gathering, and I'm not even exaggerating there. I have a Sliver Magic the Gathering deck and a Taste of Karlov Magic the Gathering deck. And the Taste of Karlov deck, I never play anymore. But Slivers, I can't bring myself to not at least try playing once or twice a month. So because I'm so focused on just enjoying slivers, and I still buy slivers, because I'm so focused on that, I do find that through slivers, I have a connection to Magic the Gathering, and I have avoided being completely burned out on the game. A game that I used to love a lot, and now in Flesh and Blood, that focus is going to be cold foils. In Yu-Gi-Oh, that focus is going to be a lot of destruction. And Pokemon, I don't have a Pokemon goal yet. Haven't figured that out. But in different card games, I think there's value to having a goal and a focus and something that keeps you really anchored for the long term. Because, at the end of the day, I think having goals that you set for yourself and are reasonably able to be achieved is just a nice thing, regardless of where you are economically, where you are in life. I think just having achievable goals is a good thing. And at the end of the day, really this video is just about having goals, finding your niche, and sticking to it to the best of your ability. If you enjoyed this little weird rant video, let me know in the comment section down below. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And thank you so much for watching. I suppose I'll see you guys in the next one.